the top right part of the map, we have as our blue Zerg player from Team Dust, SLeet.
And spawning in the top left position of our map, currently up 1-0 in our little best of 3 here, we have our red Terran player from Team Strat K, LeGeND.
So he was asking if it's cross only. It clearly isn't, but I gave him a deliberately vague answer, so he has to figure that out. But I don't want to give away his opponent's position for him.
Cross spawn only? I don't know. I always claim ignorance in cases like that, so that you don't give away too much information.
Yeah, I can't say anything. Man, if that turns into a misunderstanding, I do not accept any responsibility. All right.
When in doubt, just let them figure it out.
Yes. When in doubt, say less. Anyway. Well, okay, so this map, yeah, it looks like someone took Cloud Kingdom and multiplied it.
Definitely. I mean, the shape of the map is almost identical. There's a couple of extra little croppings here and there of different terrain types, but it looks almost identical to Cloud Kingdom, with the addition of the top left, bottom right cross spawn mains thrown in to turn into a 4-player map.
And then you got these random golds that they put in the middle that actually kind of act as a pathing blocker.
Yeah. I don't think these, yeah.
Lings can go through there.
Lings and drones might be able to fit through that. I don't think they would slow down our players much anyways.
No.
Because there's the 2 big ramps to the left and right of both of those sets of mineral patches that they could just run over. But it is kind of interesting to see players try to pick up the gold minerals if it turns into a big long macro game. Just see them fighting over that. There's a couple of mineral patches in the middle there.
Is there any other interesting features here? Okay, yes. Yes, there is. The third bases are funky. You either go for the gold, or you have a third base with rocks that force you to take a long way around. But meanwhile, yeah, little duel at the front. Reaper with an SCV. Looks like he was maybe considering a bunker with that. In this case, he's just going to get the 2 Reapers up here. Decent micro from both players right now means that the Reapers are going to get a bunch more kills on the Lings. Survive to keep fighting. Queen's going to come out and try and do something about that, at least slow down the regen. And getting 0 or 1 drones out of a move like this is pretty common at this level. It's very unusual to see more. But he's going up to 3 Reapers, so he's trying to push for that.
He's definitely invested enough resources into this that he has to do something with these. Even if he's able to take the Reapers, kind of skip around the natural, get up into the main to look to see if there's any tech that's been thrown down. I think that definitely makes it worth it.
Okay. One gas, no longer mining out of that for SLeet. He's grabbing speed, getting his economy up from there. LeGeND's pushing up to the factory. Looks like he's probably going to start with the Hellion play just like before.
Getting a second
gas and third.
Second gas and a third.
So this most likely, for anybody who's not necessarily familiar with this, who's probably going to keep the command center up here for a little while until he has a little bit more forces to actually secure that location. Usually won't see them pick up and land the command center right away, because it's a pretty risky prospect to do that. You can even see Lings already out on the map. It's pretty easy to force it to lift off. But he's going to go for the attack right now. There's not a lot here to defend. If he can catch the Hellions by surprise, he has a decent shot of doing some damage here. He's going to get at least 1 Reaper for his trouble. And the rest are moving back into a corner.
One Hellion's gonna get pulled off. Second Reaper.
Oh, wow, the Hellion barely surviving. 10 health left on that thing. Second one coming out, and yeah. Looking at the units lost tab, a little bit more lost for Zerg than for Terran actually. So maybe not quite efficient, but cutting down on the Reaper numbers at least means that this guy is most likely just going to be a scout. He's probably not going to be coming in to harass his base anymore. So there is that thought at least. And if he is trying to push up for a big Hellbat, he has cut down on their numbers a little bit. So kind of a neutral exchange probably, a little favoring the Terran though.
Definitely, because now he's got these 4 Hellions that he'll be able to move out across the map with. So long as he can catch them in open spaces, Hellions can deal with Lings very easily all day.
So this is a really rough situation. There's a Banshee already out on the field, and he's got Hellions harassing at the front. The Queens want to be forward to deal with the Hellions, but the instant that happens, the Banshee can simply fly right back in and start killing things off. But for some reason, Legends has actually told his Banshee to go back home after killing one worker. Looks like he's just going to focus on the Hellions to make sure he keeps them alive. And I do feel like there may be a little bit of a missed opportunity there.
Cloak is about to finish for our Banshee. It might be that he's just waiting for Cloak to finish before he goes back in, but it's not going to do much because Spore Crawlers are finishing up at the natural, the main. One hasn't been planted. There it is. One has been planted at the third, so that'll finish up a little bit later.
He actually can cloak and kill the upgrades though, which thinking about it, he's moving forward a little bit. He's going to notice that they're able to fire at him, and then he's just going to reposition to the back corner, kill a couple. Having 2 Banshees in particular is very, very nice for the Terran player, as he can just one-shot the drones and get out of there. And yeah, it looks like he's just going to fall back from there and just go for the guaranteed damage and keeps these guys alive for the DPS later in the game. Okay, so he's a few Hellions at the front, no bunkers here. Decently defended position. Overlord just kind of hanging out, getting to see everything. And looks like he's moving into mech play from here. +1/+1 for ground and flyers for mech. SLeet looks like he just finished a Spire, so it looks like he wants to go to Mutaplay again.
Definitely, and with the Spire coming out a little bit earlier this game than last game, it feels, I think the Mutas will be out and force a little bit more. That and the fact that he didn't lose his third this time, SLeet's definitely going to have a lot more larva and a lot more economy to work with for when he tries to push these Mutas out.
Ooh, seeing the attempt to take the gold out here. SLeet says my Spire for some reason. Did I miss something just now?
I have no idea.
It's there. His Spire is there. He's upgrading something in it. SLeet's have legend scanning because he's like, what? As well. And yeah, here come the... So there's already a... Well, he must have scanned it, maybe. Oh my god. I don't see any evidence of anything happening on the map. Oh my goodness. But anyway, we got a couple Vikings here positioned to go after the detection's not gonna kill it. I think he was anticipating Widowmine play maybe, but it doesn't look like we're gonna see any of that, honestly.
And we're actually seeing a hard transition into roaches here. Glial Reconstitution's about to finish up, and he had 10 roaches on the way, another 6 about to pop out now. So it looks like both these players are in this for the long haul. These Hellions are going to try and come in and harass a little bit, but the Queen's going to be able to head them off, hold them back, and the roaches should be able to swing around and destroy all 4 of these Hellions before they do too much harm. Gets a few drone kills off of that, but
a little bit better position for Legend actually. Already, okay. I'm getting fooled by the supply counts. Like normally, you expect to see the Zerg a little bit ahead, but mech is weird. Like Hellbats take up a lot of supply and they're kind of cheap, so you can kind of close that gap and you can send the wrong message. So I don't know if we're necessarily seeing that, but the fact that he has secured this gold base does put things in a little bit of an awkward position for our Zerg player. He's looking for every opening he can find here, though. Doesn't lose any mutas. It's a worker and a turret. I don't think that was cancelled back there.
No, I don't think it was either. We have Blue Flame coming out for our Hellions and Hellbats, our Hell units. But I do definitely like this play. So he's seen the mech. He knows that he's going to be encountering a lot of Hellbats, Hellions, and a handful of Thors. So he's going with the Roaches. And the Roaches with speed are going to make for pretty devastating counterattacks if they can actually get in past these siege tanks.
Going for an attack on these exposed structures over the side here. Meanwhile, there's a Hellbat drop back in SLeet's base. It does have Blue Flame. That means that these are basically pre-patch Hellbats. They're very, very strong.
Two Queens are able to clean that up quite easily, though.
You actually can kill the workers from the other side of this mineral line, which I'm really hoping somebody does at some point in this game. Because we could be sitting here for a little while. They're doing a little chip damage to each other, but I don't think anybody's going to die for a while, guys. So this is looking to be kind of a long-term thing. And he's got to have noticed by now that the muta count is not risen. So
definitely. So
he's definitely suspecting something. So
you know, honestly, I don't know what SLeet could do at this point. There's a good mix of ground and air army right now. So there's what was that, eight Vikings?
I know exactly what he's going to do. The one thing we don't want to see in this situation against mech as casters, because we could be here for 3 years, but he's going to go Swarm Hosts. He's throwing a lot of roaches out on the map. He's going to see if he can get some damage done with that, and then what he's kind of hoping is that he can force a situation where both players have such extreme defender's advantage that nobody can move, and he can take the rest of the map.
And at that point, as long as he's got Swarm Hosts, he can just produce infinite units until his opponent finally breaks and crumbles.
The hard thing about this, though, from the Zerg's point of view, is just that when LeGeND gets about 5 siege tanks, he can actually nullify the Swarm Hosts. They do so much splash damage that you can kind of keep them from killing anything, even just using like an excess barracks to kind of absorb a couple, like the maybe 50 to 100 damage that they'll be able to even shoot with like 8 to 10 Swarm Hosts. And it doesn't look like LeGeND is going to wait, though. He's going to say, you know what, fine. Position myself a little bit more aggressively, while at the same time, unfortunately, SLeet attacks from the side. Finds a producing Thor, is going to kill a siege tank, do a little bit of damage at the back. LeGeND is going to attack at the front, moving his Vikings and Hellbat Thor army up to there. Roach is actually still causing a lot of damage back home. It has not been cleaned up just yet, and here comes some Banshees. That should probably do it. It's going to take a little bit, though. And,
but these Roaches swinging in from the backside are actually going to clean up a lot of the heavy hitters from the Thor. Unless the Vikings can absorb most of the damage.
Well,
more Roaches coming out.
The thing is, the defender's advantage is just a little bit too extreme here, I think, for SLeet. He's just going to eventually collapse this, especially with those Thors being as badly damaged as they are. Or not. What? Okay. Is there any more units coming out? 6 Corruptors, 16 more Roaches. Some of the Corruptors are going to spawn right here, which is a little bit interesting. Yeah, the Banshees, I think, are in detection range, just barely.
Yep.
And that'll be the end of that army. And that is a huge blow for LeGeND. There's so much money that went into that. And he's basically just saying right there, no, I can't deal with a Remax, so GG.
Yep, definitely. I will say, though, that that particular attack had LeGeND taken an extra base or so. Behind that, he could have definitely held off any aggression that would have been able to follow up while he was trying to remax. Because he had actually completely cleaned out all of the Roaches that SLeet had up and available. So there was no standing army for either of those two.